Peace, love and light. This is your girl, Queen Kenya, coming to you live. I want to encourage you today with a Soulspirations. I'm talking about letting go of energies that do not serve you. And sipping on my tea, turmeric and almond milk and honey. Turmeric, almond milk, and honey. This topic today, I already did a live on it, but I'm doing another one for this platform. It's totally freeing, liberating for me to talk about it today, because I finally got to that state where I can look back and be able to celebrate that I have overcome allowing myself to be attached to energies who are not serving me. Sometimes in life we create illusions about people, relationships, friendships, romantic connections, what have you. We create them. Like, we allow them to become more than what they really are. I'm a very creative being. I can imagine a whole lot of shit. So there have been times in my life when I've allowed, unfortunately, myself to create these illusions about my connections with other people. In real life, though. Like, I really have a relationship with the people, I'm connected with them or whatever, but in my mind, the friendship connection or whatever have you is way more than what it really is. So I may have been obsessed, so to speak, with certain beings. Oh, how much I love them, wanted to be with them, or what have you, or whatever. Just giving more into a relationship or a friendship than they gave. So if you find yourself giving 100% or more, and the other party's only giving 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60, way less than what you're giving, and you're constantly giving, but there's nothing being afforded to you in return. That's an energy vampire within itself. Not specifically to call that person an energy vampire, but they really are. Some people do stuff intentionally in your life. Like, some people will literally stay around in your life because they know they can get a lot from you, because they know that you're interested in them, and they use that to their advantage. I mean, who wouldn't? I've done it before. But the whole thing is, it's just like, at a certain point in your life, you got to get to a state where you are not, and I got to flip my glasses like this a little bit because I was getting on my nerves, where you are not allowing people to take more from you than what you are giving them, and that's really up to you to set that boundary. Because sometimes some people only come into your life to serve a particular purpose, and when you allow them to stay too long, or it can become something totally different. But if they do stay as long as they stay, or whatever, if it's like for years or whatever, purposely, intentionally, unintentionally, whatever, it's a lesson. It's a lesson to be learned, a lesson that we all need to pay attention to. So, realize this. The Soulspiration is all about this, and I'm really making this short and sweet because I made it long and drawn out from my last live I did. But I'll try to give y'all as much meat as I possibly can and not cheat you. The bottom line is this. There are going to be people that come into your life that you're connected with, whether it be friends, family, in the corporate world, what have you. And there must be a line of reciprocation. You give, they give. You give, they give. It should never be you give, you give, you give, you give, you give, they give. You give, 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 they give. It should never be like that. It should be more like you give, they give, 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 you know? Balance. Balance is key in everything, because you'll have those friendship relationships where your homegirl is always wanting to go hang out, but you the one who always paying for it every time y'all go hang out. Why it's never like, girl, let's go hang out, I got you this time, let's, or I'm gonna come scoop you, we going out, or you got your own, and stop just letting old girl just take care of everything all the time. I mean, yeah, I know what it look like. It's better to learn at an early age than a later age, but sometimes life lessons don't present itself for us to learn it at an early age. And so we ended up, learning that lesson at a later stage in life. Nonetheless, it is very important that you get the lesson. And the lesson today, the soulspiration for today, is to remind you that there must be reciprocation in your life, in relationships, in friendships, in corporate entanglements, or what have you. It's important, because if you're always giving 100% of yourself and the other party is only giving 10%, that's unequal, and it's not right. And remember, that we can't allow ourselves to create these illusions about these relationships and friendships where we can get sucked in emotionally, and it can cause pain and trauma. We have to free ourselves of those things, which is typically what this soulspiration is all about: freedom and liberation, because you need to be able to find yourself in a way that you can receive. Some people are natural givers. All they do is give, give, give. And sometimes some people in your life only come to give. And you have to be able to differentiate that. Did this person just come into my life just to bless me and then they move on? Or is this person around to stay for a season or longer? We can create our own realities within our minds, which essentially sometimes creates these illusions that people are there for a different reason other than what they're really there for. And if they just go along with it because it benefits them, then you're the only one that's going to end up getting hurt, not them. Sometimes people do that. They will go along with the get along for as long as they can, because they know, oh, I can count on her. She's going to be there. She's going to do this. She's always there for me when I need her. But what about you being there for them when they need you? If you're the one who's always there for other people when they need you, but nobody's there for you when you need them, it's time to reflect. It is time to take a step back and be like, yo, I need to start analyzing these relationships, these friendships. Because relationships, friendships, they're supposed to be a give and take type of thing, It's reciprocation. It's key. You give, they give. Vice versa. So if that's not happening and you're giving 100 and they giving 10%, it's time to reevaluate some things. That connection, that relationship, that friendship. You got to reevaluate shit. So I am finally in the season of reflecting and celebrating, realizing that there have been some illusions that I've created in my life about people and friendships and relationships. And finally, I had to come to grips and realize, you know what? These people in my life are not giving to me as much as I'm giving to them. Certain people in particular. These people can be labeled as energy vampires, because that's what they are. Now, whether or not they're doing it intentionally, that's a whole nother story. Some of them are doing it intentionally because they know what they're doing. They know. And others, it's just happening because you're allowing it to happen. Because of the illusion that you have created within your mind about your connection with this being or this person. You know, for guys and gals, sometimes you might meet someone that you take interest in, that you admire, that you like, or whatever. And there might be a little flirtatious stuff going on or whatever. But it never goes anywhere. Never goes anywhere. But that person just constantly entertains you because you're so willing to always do shit for them, to always be there for them, to always comfort them, be a listening ear, to be supportive of their endeavors and what they're doing. They're taking from you, but they're not giving you nothing. What are they giving you? What are they feeding to your spirit, your energy? What are they giving you? If they're not giving you anything, hunty, let me tell you, it's time for you to move on. It is time for you to reevaluate the whole relationship, friendship, whatever you want to call it, and move on, because it's not serving you. I mentioned this in my last live on a different platform. This is very important. When you get to the place of acknowledging the fact that someone is not serving you within your life and your life purpose and journey, you got to awaken on a whole nother level. Like, just acknowledge it and be like, you know what? It's time for me to only interact with people who are serving me in my life. My life, as far as my life journey, like where I'm going, my purpose or whatever. If they're not pouring into you at all, anything positive, then what's the point? You know, you can give to everybody else, but if those people that you're giving to are not pouring back into you, what's the point? Life is, it's the yin and the yang. It's the, you know, the reciprocation piece. It's important. So I created this mantra for myself that I say every night before I go to sleep. And it says, I am love, I am peace, I am content within my being. I will only embrace those who will serve me within my journey of life. I release all those energies and beings that do not serve me within my life. I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much that's the gist of it. That's what I say every night before I go to sleep. And I say it that way because I want that embedded into my subconscious mind, so that my subconscious can really get that and soak that in. So when I'm awake and I'm out here in this world from day to day, I'm already in mode in the back of my mind when I'm interacting with people. If this person is not serving me, then, you know, I'm releasing them. Now, granted, because I'm a giver and I'm an encourager, that's part of my gift of life. I know that. There are just going to be some people that I'm just there to give to. For me, personally, I do realize that because of the person that I am, and I recognize the gifts in my life. So, for the people who are the gifters in that aspect, the healers of the nation, the healers of the universe, the healers of the world, you know, we have that charge upon our lives to just give unto others, but not to take advantage of people, you know, or allow ourselves to be taken advantage of. Like for me, I was a giver in a situation, but I gave too much of myself, unfortunately, allowing myself to be in an illusion that there was more than what there really was. But the person knew, and they just went along with it. It's like, oh, she's like this, and she's going to give me that, and this is going to benefit me this way. And so I'll just let her tag along for however many years she's going to do this. And that's what they did. Until finally I got into a place within myself and I realized, you know what? This relationship right here is not serving me. It doesn't serve. I'm always giving to them, and they don't give not a damn thing. They probably did in the beginning. That might have been some bait. I don't know. But I've always offered up myself unto them to be a friend, to really be that, you know? And it wasn't reciprocated. So, in essence, I had to be a big girl, put on my big girl panties, and let that go. Let it go. And when I finally did that, y'all, life began to happen. And so much greater realities opened up, doors opened up for me, and blessings came forth. The universe reciprocated to me what I needed, because I had been such a giver for so long. I needed to put myself in a position to be able to receive. And sometimes that's another thing that we don't do as people in general, is especially givers. If you're really a giver, you got to put yourself in a position to be able to receive. Stop giving all the time. Just sit down somewhere and just stop and let someone come and give unto you and bless you, and be open to receiving it. Receptive, be open to that. So I was telling this story on another platform. This year, I met this guy. We had known each other probably all of 6 weeks collectively altogether. But he was only brought into my life just to give. Literally, just to give to me. Give to me mentally, give to me spiritually, emotionally. It was never supposed to be anything sexual. There was no sex exchange. There was no kissing. No, we hugged, but that was it. So it wasn't, and sometimes that's another lesson we need to learn, to be able to set boundaries with people. Realizing that just because you connect with people doesn't mean that it has to be a romantic connection. Sometimes some entities are brought into your life just to connect with you on a soulful level, so that you can grow, so that they can grow, so that you can exchange that energy, cross paths, and keep it moving. A lot of times when we get to certain places in our lives, that's what it's all about. That's all it really is. But sometimes we like to make it more than what it is, and that's how we get caught up in some shit we don't need to be caught up in. So, anyways, this guy came into my life. He blessed me, God. He blessed me. Like I said, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, consciously. Conversation was good. It was everything. And then he came with the gifts. One day he just showed up and was like with a whole paper bag, grocery bag from this store that I love, Seven Nanda in Atlanta. They have all the nice herbs and natural oils and incense and natural soaps and oils and lotions, and just everything. They have everything at their store. It's kind of expensive, but I love the store. So I never told this guy like what kind of oils and stuff that I like, but he went out and he got all these different type things: soaps, oils, lotions, coconut butter, coconut oil, and shea butter. Like this dude went all out and just brought me like a whole gift bag of stuff for the queen. And it was just so to get that, to be blessed and appreciated. He didn't really know me from Adam. For real. By the time he did this, we had only known each other probably like 2 weeks. And it was just nice. It was nice to be able to be appreciated and gifted like that. And then one day, he just disappeared. Like, he was giving to me, and then all of a sudden he was just gone. And so I tried to call him, couldn't get in touch with him. It was like he just fell off the planet, fell off the face of the earth. So I sat back and I started to analyze the situation, and I thought about it. I was like, okay, so what has my mantra been? That I will only embrace energies and soul beings that come into my life to serve me. I release all beings and energies that are not serving me in this life. That is my mantra. And so I was like, this being came into my life to serve me. That is amazing. And I was like, well, it is just kind of ironic or weird, so to speak, that he just disappeared. Like, I was like, I hope the guy's okay. Like, he just didn't fall off the face of the earth. Did he die? Whatever. So I just started praying for him. Like, still to this day, I haven't, like, talked to him, like, anymore. I don't know where he is, what's going on with him in his life or whatever. And we didn't know each other that long, so it wasn't like I could call his sister, his mama, or somebody and be like, hey, how's so-and-so doing? Can't do that. So I just prayed, and I was like, thank you. I thank you, universe, for allowing this person to come into my life and bless me in such a way. And I pray that they are protected and, wherever they are. Like, you ever had like an angel experience? To me, this was like an angel experience for me, because essentially he was my angel in my time of need. in this season that I needed to allow myself to be receptive. And he just taught me, sometimes you just gotta sit back and receive, and that was just the gift buying and stuff, that where he blessed me with all those gifts. That was just one incident. It was another incident where he was just doing stuff that I needed him to do at the right time, and it was just amazing for me. And it's great to be able to take this time now to be able to reflect upon those things. So the soul inspiration, the soul inspiration for today, to realize that when there are people in your life that are not serving you, you need to let them go. Energy vampires, that's what I call them. When you're constantly giving 100% to people and they're only giving you 10%, it's time to analyze, reevaluate that whole relationship, whether it's friends, whether it's romantic, whether it's family, whether it's on a corporate level, business-wise, or whatever. If you are giving 100% and they're not giving 100%, you need to reevaluate the whole relationship, connection, friendship, whatever it is. Especially if this is a consistent act that's constantly happening all the time. You're giving, and they ain't reciprocating. That's not cool. Eventually, you will give of yourself till there's no more left to give, and they're just sucking the life out of you. That's why I call them energy vampires. They're just taking all your energy, taking all the greatness and goodness from you, and what do you have left for yourself? Nothing. Okay? So we don't want to be in that number. We don't want to be the people who are always giving unto others and never receiving. Now, like I said before, sometimes in some people's lives, you're placed just to be a giver. You got to know that season. You got to know that boundary for yourself. You might just be there just to bless somebody and, give into them. But you have to have that understanding and that acknowledgement within yourself when that happens. And so you can do that, operate in that mode, and then move on with your life. But then there are like your homegirls or your friends or your family or whatever. Like I said earlier, it's like the homegirl who always wants to go out, but she ain't never paying for nothing. Like, you always paying for everything. Like, when is she going to reciprocate what you're giving her? Like, if you got that friend who always want to go hang out, but ain't never carrying their weight, blessings. I'm glad it's a blessing to you. But if you have a homegirl or a guy friend or whatever who always want to go out and you always the one that's paying for everything, no. If you're in a relationship with someone, a romantic relationship with someone, and you're just the one that's giving all the time, relationships are supposed to be 50-50 or 100-100. For real, it's 100-100. But if you find yourself in a relationship with someone who's not giving as much, maybe y'all need to sit down and talk about that thing and reevaluate the whole relationship. Like, are we really doing this, or am I doing this? A relationship is not one-sided. It's not supposed to be just for one person. And that goes for friendships too. Now, mind you, like I said earlier, we have to be accountable for ourselves. We have to be responsible for ourselves. So what I have done in the past, and what I'm realizing now, I did this. I'm glad I'm so free and liberated from this now. But what I did in the past was I created illusions about people and me and my relationships with these people. And I made it to be more than what it was. Like, we might have been friends, but I was like, crazy about them, head over heels in love with them. And so I was willing to do whatever. And they knew I was willing to do whatever. And so they took advantage of that, knowing that they had no interest in being with me at all. But they was just taking whatever I was giving, support, love, sharing, supporting their business, their artistry, or whatever. I was just giving unto them, and they were taking, and they were not pouring anything back into me. So therefore, for years, unfortunately, I experienced this until I got to a place where I was totally emotionally drained, and I finally realized, like, look, enough of this shit. Enough is enough. They ain't giving me nothing. What are they doing for me? They always want to call me when they need something. I'm always there for them. Yes, you hit me with a little gift here and there, but what are you really doing for me? Are you giving to me as much as I'm giving to you or have given to you? No? Okay. Then I need to take a step back, reevaluate this situation, and know this, that it's time for me to move on. You have to be in a place to set boundaries for yourself. Set boundaries for yourself. Acknowledge when you are in a state of being of illusion. It's hard sometimes. It might take a while to get there. But sometimes it's instances like this that can snap you out of it. You can see a live or a video or something and be like, hey, damn, maybe that's what I'm doing with so-and-so. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe you need to reevaluate that whole situation. So, to end this, because I'm about to end this, I just want to reflect and remind you the importances of reciprocation. Protect yourself, protect your energy, because your soul, being, and your energy that you possess, your aura, is everything. So if you're not protecting that within this life, you're wide open for any catastrophes chaos that could come your way. You got to protect yourself. So if you don't take anything else from this Soulspirations today, and I am trying to inspire your soul, know this: we must allow ourselves to get into a position where we release energies, beings in our lives that are not serving us. If they're not serving us, our life purpose, our life journey, bye-bye, see you later, let them go. Release them. Only embrace energy beings in your life that is serving you. If they are serving you, then hey, let them live, let them stay. Not let them live, because we ain't killing nobody, right? But let them stay. You know, and you get to enjoy that reciprocation. So inspiration for the day. And I love the way the sun is shining on me now in the glow. Oh, my melanin is popping. It's beautiful. I'm so thankful that I am a brown woman. Okay. But inspiration for today. Know this: you deserve to have every energy that you exude out of your being. You deserve to have it reciprocated. You deserve to have that energy returned to you. So if you're a giver, you deserve to be able to receive. And when you get to that point of recognizing and realizing it for yourself that you are worthy of what you give, then you'll put yourself in a position to receive that. Sometimes it takes acknowledgement of self to be able to love on ourselves more, to realize that we are worthy of what we give out. Because just think about it, you know, sometimes we give unto others just so that we can get that attention from them, and they never give it to us, so we constantly continue to give, thinking that eventually maybe they will give it, and they still don't. At some point, we got to draw the line for ourselves, set boundaries, and know that whether it's a friendship, romantic relationship, or a family member, you need to set those boundaries and only allow yourself to receive what you shall receive from those beings, and also whatever you've given. Don't be the person that's always receiving and never giving out. And vice versa. Don't be the person that's always giving and never receiving. There must be balance within your life. So allow that balance to flow, and know that there is a way to have that reciprocation in your life. You were designed to be able to be a giver and a receiver. You know, we all are. So with that being said, I hope I've inspired your soul today. And know, release those energies that are not serving you in this life. If they're not serving you, release them and let them go. Okay? Peace, love, and light. Blessings. Hope this has been a great inspiration for you today. Remember to check me out on my blog spot. I do new short tale features every once and again. So I just released a new feature. It's called The New World. The main character is Carissa, and it's on Queen Corner's blog, and that is the blogspot.com, and it's called Queen's Corner. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to releasing new materials, and I'm already working on what I'm going to be doing next year for this next year calendar. This 2021 calendar is going to be something serious. If you missed out on the 2020 harvest year calendar this year, no, but perhaps maybe I'll do a recap and a special or something and re-release it again later or something or whatever. But yeah, my calendars are great. They always have timely inspirational quotes each month, so you might want to get into it. So thank you for your time, thank you for your essence, thank you for gifting me today with your presence, and I pray that I have been a blessing unto you as you have been a blessing unto me. Peace, love, and light. Ashe.